Hiya guys, and welcome back to Ades Workshop. Been fairly busy this week as time permits. Done a bit more work in the shed, I'll show you that. I pretty much moved 90% of the stuff from this end to clear a path on this end, and moved a load of stuff down into the new end of the workshop. I'll show you all of that. In this episode we've got some modifications that I've done on the little belt sander, changed the orientation of the sander bit, and a bit of turning work, making some bushes for the wire wheel to be fitted on the sander. So we'll show you that as well. So no time like a present, let's show you what I've been up to. Oh. Oops, bit deep. Well, there we are. I knew that bit of play would come in handy with something. I've now got somewhere to sit down when I'm in the workshop. So again, along with the new seat, I have fitted a couple of rails underneath the workbench, and they're going to take a shelf, basically. I've got some scrap timber in the loft, sort of flat melamine board, that sort of stuff, and that's going to go under there and create a shelf for tool storage. So I fitted the shelving in under the bench, and I placed some toolboxes in there for storage just out of the way for the time being. So yeah, more and more room being available all the time. So I've decided that the sticker board is going to go where it is, and it's going to go that way up. And through the mail this week I had a rather nice letter and some more stickers from Craig's workshop. Craig is in Tasmania. I think that's about as far away from West Wales as is possible to get. So yeah, that's Craig's workshop. Check him out, guys. We've got some interesting projects, nice carpentry machinery, metalworking machinery, all sorts of bits and bobs going on at Craig's workshop. So check him out. And that's going to go, I think, there. So there's Craig's workshop in place. I haven't shown where I am with the workshop. Paper roll holder, block of wood with a hole drilled in it, and a piece of pipe with a hole in the wall. Paper roll goes on there. I'll just quickly demonstrate. Yeah, I mean, basically, paper roll, piece of copper pipe. It's one of those stainless steel coated ones, or chrome coated ones. Got my pen rack in place. There, we have the Pembrokeshire flag on the roof. One of the toolboxes has come over and is on the workbench. A few bits and bobs there. Ding-a-ling. I wonder what that was. Radio's in place. I bet everybody's looking at their phone now. I haven't been drinking wine in the workshop. I make homebrew wine. Oh, I'll give you a shot of that in a bit. I got a couple of gallons on the go, and I only needed 12 bottles, and I pulled out more than I needed, so I just put them there temporarily. Starting to use my shelving. Bits and bobs going on. Let me come back away from here and you can see a bit better. So yeah, as I was saying, toolbox there, a few odd tools. My surface plate, as I call it, is on top of the toolbox there with a rubber mat on it. The wine bottles, a few bits and bobs. Toolboxes again. Yeah, I mean, it's coming along. I've got my heater in place. That's a convenient place for it. It doesn't get too hot around it, but it's surprising 5 minutes and the workshop's toasty warm. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, I mean, it's coming along slowly. There we are. I got a couple of gallons of wine on the go. One red, one white. A couple more days and it should be finished fermenting. You know what it's like when you want a tape measure and you can't find one? Well, because I've been pulling out boxes to do carpentry and odd bits and pieces. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them have all reappeared. I dare say I'll find a few more before I'm finished. So I've been threatening to modify this thing, bring this into an upright position and put a wire wheel on that side instead of a grindstone. So I suppose first part of it, yeah, strip it all down, I think. Oh, that wasn't very tight. So yeah, I'll oh, that was loose as well. I'll strip it all down, pull the grinding wheel off, pull this all apart and see. I would imagine it's just 3 screws holding this back plate on, which keeps the orientation. So we'll strip it down and have a looky-see. Just a little note, this will be a left-hand thread, being on the left-hand side, and the right hand will be a right-hand thread. So yeah, I gotta... Oh, it wasn't that tight. Yeah, left-hander. And I'll pull that. Can we call it a grinding wheel? Yeah, and we'll pull that piece of old paving slab off there. And we'll see what's involved. Looking at this, looks promising in that the guard is fitted on with 3 screws. So we won't be wanting... Oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be either. So we'll pull the guard off. Alright, just as well carry on filming this. Here we are, and that's just exposed the bit of spindle on the end of the machine. We'll just keep the 3 screws that go in there to one side. They may come in useful for something. Yeah, so that's that end done. Never taken one of these apart. I suppose first things first, let's whip this end off, I'd imagine. Well, as it turned out, there's a weird sort of star shape. Can you pick it up? In there, but it's got 5 of the legs, so that you could, that was the way it was. So I can rotate it round to the vertical. But the one hole I've had to drill, so I just marked it out and I drilled the hole. A little bit oversized, give me a bit of wiggle room, So yeah, I mean 3 screws back in there, and we should be cooking on gas. So I'll just pop those in. We'll centralise it up by eye, so that it's central to the shaft, which is about, yeah, it's about there. I can always adjust this afterwards. I think what I'll do is put it down on its feet and just adjust this space square to the bottom. I think it's probably the easiest way to do it. I'll just nip those and... Oh, actually, it looks pretty good where it is now. I think we'll get away with that. So I need to make a couple of adapters to fit this on the spindle of the belt sander grinder that was, but it's going to be a belt sander with a wire wheel on the other side. Just had a quick measure of the bore of this. It's 32 mil. The shaft on the grinder is 1/2 inch, so I need to make a couple of flanged adapters to go between the 32 mil down to 1/2 inch. So I think we're going to have to jump on the lathe. We haven't been on the lathe for a while. Had a quick look at the box that the wire wheel came in, and it says, oh, with adapter kit. I was given the wire wheel. It was a gift from one of my viewers. It was from Stephen. Yeah, there wasn't an adapter kit in it. So I had a quick look online, and the adapter kit are basically some nylon spacers with a flange on them. So yeah, I've got a piece of dowel in here, 40 mil diameter, and we're going to use that. So I'm looking for, base it off, 32 diameter back, well, the overall width of the wheel, or we'll call it a wheel, the wire brush, it's a thickness of 25 mil. So if I go, yeah, I mean, I'll do 12 mil back, and I'll do a pair of them, so there's a mil gap in the middle, and when I tighten them up, they're going to, they're going to grip on the outer flange, as it were. So, usual place to start. We'll face it off. Put a cut on will be handy. Probably go a bit faster than that. It's an absolute dream to work with this stuff. It cuts like butter. Yeah, I probably could have made these out of aluminium, but I happen to have a piece of Delrin lying about. Is that cleaned up? Very nearly. Touch more. That'll do it. There we go, that's it placed off. I'll give myself a 0 at that position on the DRO. I'll just touch off on the OD. I measured up this Delrin, it's about 40.2 mil. That's just touching. I think I'll take a skim off that, maybe 0.1. Something like that. Give myself a 0 there. And I'll just clean up the OD. Up to about within a couple of mil of the chuck, that should do me. That's the OD cleaned up. Let's just check that. Yep, it's cleaned up all the way around. Okay, so if I have a measure of that now, oh, it's now measuring 40 mil on the button. So, 32 finished size, so let's just double check the bore. Yeah, 31.32 it measures. So yeah, 4 mil aside, so 4 mil aside off it, and we should be on the correct diameter. So I'll probably take 3.5 mil off aside, and start with that 2 mil, and I want to go back 12. I'm just winding the lead screw with the handle on the end of my lead screw here. For some reason, my DRO is not registering. Yeah, it's probably dirt on it by the look of it, a bit of oil, a bit of dirt, it needs a clean. So I'll sort that out and we'll get back to it. Okay, I worked out why the DRO wasn't working. I'd unplugged the scale from the back of here. I'd been cleaning up and I hadn't plugged it back in again. So that solved that mystery. So, let's just give myself a 0 there. Take a cut. We should be about a mil off size here. Just wind the cutter forward till the DRO reads 12. There, and back. We'll have another measure. .33 mil, so another 0.5 aside. And that should be it. Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Can't see what's going on. Never mind, that's where the DRO comes in handy. That's 12, and I'll just wind out from there. Okay. And we'll get rid of that lot. This stuff, obviously it's not sharp. If I was using it with steel or aluminium, yeah, obviously use a pair of pliers to pull the swarf away or what have you, but quite happy with this. So, let's have a quick measure. .96. I think we'll call that. Will that fit in there? I'm not sure it'll hit the bed. Oh, it will. It's a bit snug. Alright, we'll take another, we'll creep up on it, take another 0.1 perhaps. Perhaps that isn't quite perfectly round now. I don't know. Try that. I took another 0.05 aside. Yes. Ow, it's just trying. Oh, bristles are sharp. Same again, I think another 0.05. And that should give me the diameter to fit in the bore over a distance of 12 mil. There we go. And I think this time, try not to prod myself in the hand, I think it's a little bit tapered. Yeah. Really does want to prod me in the hand, this wire wheel. Just have a look at the box that it came in. See what it says for the spec of the bore. 31.75. Alright. 31.78. Alright, we'll take that another 0.05 aside. I measured it with the calipers and it was coming out at 32 mil. As I say, perhaps it was slightly out of round where I measured it. Take his beard off. Well, actually fits, but yeah, we'll have a touch off it. How many touches am I going to take on it till it fits? That's better than be hugely undersized, I suppose. Creep up on it, as they say. Is it going to fit? Yeah. Now it fits. A tiny bit was the difference between fitting and not fitting. Let's just see what size that is. About 31.6 in the end. Okay. I think we'll have a little chamfer there, and then we'll have a 1/2 inch hole up it. So let's get the little chamfering tool out. Where are we? Here we are. Again, I pulled it off with my finger. It's not sharp stuff, but I did, if you notice, come a good ways away from the chuck. You know, so that I've got my hands in close to the danger area, but I wound the carriage back to take a bit of swarf off and then go back to the chuck. Again, if I was using steel or aluminium or you know, some other material that's sharp and nasty swarf, you'd use a pliers or a you know, a little prod to pull the swarf away. So yeah, just a little what's it, safe enough on this dowel ring, but I am keeping away from the nasty moving parts that'll give you a wrap across the knuckles. So that's the diameter and shoulder done. I've already got a centre drill up in the tailstock here. Nice big centre drill. In fact, it's a huge centre drill. Well, what's a huge centre drill? It's huge for this little lathe. I'll just pop the centre out, put the chuck up. Oh. I'm going to drill it out with a 12mm hole, and then after that stick a 1/2 inch reamer through it, and we'll see what sort of fit it is on this shaft when I parted it off. I can always put it back up and open it up a bit. Shall I go right through? Yeah, no reason why I shouldn't. That's drilling nicely. Where's that stopped? Ran out of travel on my quilt. And we're through the other side. So, let's just stop that chuck. Pull the drill out. Take the chuck out. And they got a 1/2 inch reamer on a Morse taper. I don't know. Dowering. Well, no one got stupid speed. Hang on, let's give myself as much travel as I can have. There we go. It's not very sharp, this reamer. I know I must have had it 20 years. And it's been lurking about in a box for that length of time. I need to go in about 20 mil. That should do me. Yeah, more than enough. Okay, so we're on a little chamfer on the front of there now. Where's my little doodah tool? Here she is. Okay, so I think we'll have a 4 mil, 3 or 4 mil shank, and I'm going to part it off. Oh, this parting tool won't go all the way through. It's not deep enough. So I'm leaving it a little bit wide, or the head a little bit wide, I should say. The flange, the shoulder, what we're going to call it, the shoulder, a little bit wide. And I'm going to have to hacksaw the last couple of mil. But no worries, I can turn it around and face the back afterwards. Yeah, there's probably about 2 or 3 mil left in the bottom of there. So yeah, I'll hacksaw the rest of that off. Okay, so a bit of board underneath. Just hacksaw that last little bit. I have got a blade type parting tool that would have gone right through, but I haven't adapted it to fit onto this tool post at present. I suppose that's a little project I'm going to have to get on with and do. I've been meaning to get some decent little blade type parting tools and make a tool holder for them. Perhaps that'll be a nice little job for the fabled milling machine that I still haven't purchased or even ordered or anything yet. Anyway, you're probably sick of hearing about this fabled milling machine because I haven't got. So I think while we're at this stage, I think I'm just going to turn up the next one and part it off. So that's 2 of those. Just going to skim that back face now and put a chamfer on. Deburr the hole, and I think we're going to be done. So this should be pretty simple. Push it back against the shoulder. Let's put the right tool in. I'm just going to touch on that jaw, give myself a 0, come back. Let's say 3.2, yeah? Alright, 3.2. That should clean up there. It did. Just 0 that again. chamfer on there. Yes, I could do with a chamfer on the outside edge. Hopefully I can get in there. Yeah. Lovely job. Swap for the other one. No, not that one, that one. Back with the turning tool. Back to my 0. There. Chamfer there, and there we have it. Couple of little spaces in Delrin. So that's the inner one on up to the shoulder. I got the outer one in the disc there, and there we go. Left hand thread. Get the spanner on there now, tighten that up, and we'll give it a whirl. So, I think what I'll do is just give it a quick pulse. No problem so far. Looks good. I think now that I've spun it up, I'll just double check that nut. I'll just switch it off on the wall. Right, it's still tight. Well, there we are. I'd say we now have a wire wheel on the grinder. I think we'll call that a success. I still need to make my bracket. As you can see, I've got my level propping this up at the moment. I'm going to make a leg to go under here, which will store away in the corner. That'll sit on a peg, something like that. So that I can, you know, it'll sit in the upright position. It's all leaning back a bit at the moment. I mean, that's more like level. But, yeah, more like level. Well, I got the level. Anyway, too many levels. So, yes, success. Okay, well, as you can see, hundreds of little steps towards the end goal of the completed workshop with a milling machine in it. One step at a time, and we're getting there slowly. When I set out on this sort of venture of the expansion, I thought the hard thing would be building the extension itself. As it happened, that's probably the simplest bit of it. The hardest thing is deciding where you're going to put everything with all the extra space I've got. But yeah, you know, you try something here and you, well, that looks all right, and then you find something else that won't fit and will fit there, and you swap it all around, and you get to the end eventually. But I still haven't got to the end. But hey ho. So what's coming up? Got a couple of little turning jobs that have come along, which I've got to do in the next couple of weeks. You know, evenings, that sort of thing. So if there's anything of any interest, I'll bring you along on that journey as we go along. Milling machine, I still haven't decided. I've narrowed it down to about 3, all very similar machines, all slightly varying prices. So I haven't decided which one I'm going to get, and I'm not going to order anything until such time as I've got the space down there ready for it. When I do finally order a machine, I'll bring you guys along on the journey, probably from its delivery out of the front of my house, up the front there, lifting it in through the door, and then probably disassembling it all in the hallway of my house to be able to bring it down into the workshop here in manageable sized pieces, or carryable sized pieces. I think that's what it's going to end up being. You know, if it's a milling machine, I'll probably bring the head off it, the table, and then the frame, you know, in 3 separate bits. So probably one of the first jobs with a milling machine is going to be taking it all apart. But then with most of the machines I've had, no matter whether they're brand new or second hand. First thing I do is take them to bits and put them together properly. Or, you know, certainly look at what's could be improved as you strip it apart and put it back together. Waffle on. I've had, yeah, okay, I'm saying too much, but you get the general idea. So yeah, another subject, new subscribers. Over the last month, since the shed extension project, we've probably had 500 odd new subscribers. I think that puts us up to, I think, about 4,200 subscribers at present. So welcome to you all. There's all sorts of different things other than what you've seen sort of so far with the shed extension. Mostly machining work, very little carpentry really. So you come in on a slightly oddball couple of episodes. But a lot of you, as I've seen already, have looked back at my previous stuff and, you know, the engineering stuff. So yeah, you know what the channel's about. So welcome again to you all. And thank you very much for pushing that subscribe button. It does mean a lot to me and gives me the will to carry on, as it were. Right, well, I think that's about it for now. As I say, we'll keep you all in touch as to what's going on with the milling machine, as and when I know myself. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you all very soon. Cheers now.